Hello, I'm Luke with the MLabs team. MLabs is a AI and blockchain consultancy building heavily on Cardano, and I'm here to present the closeout video for our Fund12 efficient contract upgrades with yielding transaction pattern project, something we simply call YTxP. So YTxP is a DApp protocol design pattern that makes protocols easier to upgrade, reason about, makes them more composable, easier to upgrade. Essentially, suggests describing protocols via transaction families, and it separates UTXO locking logic from spend authorizations. So we submitted this in the Fund12 Cardano Open Developers Fund category, which sought to improve DevX on Cardano via supporting open source technology. We were funded about 200,000 AD for this, and in particular, we delivered two open source libraries, YTxP lib, which is the main library that contains design documentation and as well as specification documentations, and also YTxP SDK, which is an off-chain utilities SDK or library. Anyways, YTxP itself, the design, was originally proposed by our colleague Peter Dragos. And while there were some minor tweaks as we delivered this, and actually as we incorporated it into an in-production application, we essentially delivered what we described here in this idea scale proposal. So how did this progress? Essentially because we had team members had planned this out very well in advance. The core library work went largely according to plan. The only challenge really came about mid-project when Cardano rolled out its Conway upgrade, which introduced a lot of Bluetooth v3, and which introduced governance functionality. So like a lot of tools, YTxP needed to be upgraded to support this, and actually, fortunately, we were able to secure funding in a separate stream in Fund13 to do this. So we actually have these upgrades about ready to be released, and we look forward to demonstrating them soon. So of course, design documentation and specification was a big part of this project. If you navigate to the docs folder, you can find the specification documentation, and another big part of this project was kind of ops, scaffolding, and CI, which you can see we've added Hercules CI. There's a make file, which has a lot of the typical make commands that you'd expect, and actually we can navigate to the terminal here. I'm in a Nix develop shell, and we can just start experimenting with some make commands, and you just to see that they all work. Build all. That usually takes a moment, but I built recently. Test all. Yeah, and that will shoot through. You can see the tests are passing. Documentation is, of course, a big part of this. We actually have the Haddock documentation hosted publicly, as we've shared in other deliverables. But if developers wish, they can also host locally and just behaves as you would expect with typical Haddock documentation. And then, of course, we have the YTxP SDK folder here, which just behaves the same way. You can open up a Nix develop shell. You can see I'm here, and then you have just the normal build commands available, and you're able to import this as needed. And then let's run the test. And as said earlier, this is a serialization, all off-chain utilities that basically handle serialization and some property tests. Moving on back to the repo, another big part of our deliverables was the tutorial. So we put together a good tutorial about setting up the YTxP. This uses a direct offer between two users as an example. And the main part is using our YTxP executable to compile the yielding script. So this is a dummy currency symbol for the authorization script. However, if you copy it, go back to lib, and then we'll clear, execute it here, you can see it generates this YTxP.json blueprint for you to use. So that's the main parts of it. Oh, sorry, forgot one thing, and that is a blog post. So we made this because sometimes YTxP, UTXO design powers can be not the most intuitive. So we have a sort of gentle introduction via this blog post that we encourage everyone to check out. Very well written. So that's essentially the main deliverables and the summary of the project. And I think we're pretty happy to announce that we hit our targets and there was no change request required. So what's next? We have these Conway upgrades that we're about to deliver through our Fund13 trons, and also we are currently exploring a commercial integration. So if that comes through, we'll hopefully have more news soon. But anyways, that's all for this closeout video, and if you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.